Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. We are going to read on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 11, the universal form. Text number 5. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. You want to chant? Yeah, this is like automatic, huh? I say it every. So, don't chant. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatasota Sahasrashaha Nana Vidani Divyani Nana Vanakritini Cha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. Purport. Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in his universal form, which, although a transcendental form, is just manifested for the cosmic manifestation, and is therefore subject to the temporary time of this material nature. As the material nature is manifested and not manifested, similar, this universal form of Krishna is manifested and non-manifested. It is not eternally situated in the spiritual sky like Krishna's other forms. As far as a devotee is concerned, he is not eager to see the universal form, but because Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in this way, Krishna reveals this form. This universal form is not possible to be seen by any ordinary man. Krishna must give one the power to see it. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangung Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamahang Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swavanantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Basadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita starts with a request by Arjuna. So we know Krishna and Arjuna are on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the Bhagavad Gita, the talk of the Bhagavad Gita is unfolding, and in course of this discussion many topics are in detail discussed. And Arjuna is asking many questions. So, in this beginning of 11th chapter, Arjuna wants to see a certain form of Krishna, which is not visible all the time. And it's called the universal form, the Virat Rupa. So, Krishna says, I can show you this, but I have to give you divine eyes to see that. It's not normal to see. So, what will happen is that Krishna will show the whole universe, time and space in himself. And Arjuna will see this and he will get quite bewildered actually, because he will see Krishna's power and opulence and grandeur. And this is very important because the universal form shows that behind this universe there is a force which is guiding everything, which manifested everything. And this force is not just energy or something, it's a person. And this person's name is Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the source of everything. He is behind everything. And the mystic yogis and the philosophers actually search for him. And we don't have to search anymore. We found him already. By the grace of Srila Prabhupada, it's very easy for us to get in contact with Krishna. So Arjuna sees in Krishna the whole universe, time and space and all the demigods, everything is in Krishna. Even though Krishna seems to be a regular person on this battlefield, he is not. He is actually a supreme person, descending in this universe. He's God himself, God Almighty, descending in this universe and taking part in the dealings of the great personalities at his time. So he took part in all this politics of 5,000 years ago India, with all its different kingdoms and maharajas, kings, and all their political strivings, their political pullings. And in the end, all this huge politics ended on this battlefield of Kurukshetra, where millions of soldiers were bravely fighting each other and killing each other, which is heroic. And it's not bad, and it's actually glorified throughout Vedic scriptures and also in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says to Arjuna, happy is a kshatriya for whom a fighting opportunity opens up even unthought, and so you have not tried to get into such a situation. It comes kind of by chance, and a kshatriya is very happy to have this opportunity. And Krishna says, through this, the Svarga Dvaram is opening. The doors to heaven are opening for such a kshatriya. Because if the kshatriya is bravely fighting and dying, he goes directly to a higher destination. For a kshatriya to die on the battlefield is glorious. It's glorious. And if he wins the kingdom, and if he loses, he has a much better next life. Then also these kshatriyas on the battlefield, they were very brave, and they're like modern sports person in one sense. Like these modern sports people, of course, they're not kshatriyas, but some kshatriya spirit is there. They want to battle each other, want to fight each other. They want to have a good fighting opportunity. And a kshatriya is also like this. And we see it always in the Shastra that a kshatriya is very happy if he can fight someone. And he wants to fight someone who is even stronger than him. He wants to fight someone who is stronger than him. And we see this in the story with Jarasandha. Jarasandha was the most powerful ruler 5,000 years ago. He was even protecting Kamsa, who was already very powerful, but he was the father-in-law of Kamsa. So when Krishna killed Kamsa, Jarasandha was very, very angry with Krishna. And he attacked Krishna's city, Mathura, very often. And in the end, Krishna had to evacuate everyone and found Dwaraka. And later on, Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to make this Rajsuya Yagya, which needs to have the acceptance of all the kshatriyas of his time. And everyone was agreeing, but Jarasandha not. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Krishna, please come with me and solve this problem. And Krishna had an idea, I think it was actually Uddhava. It was Uddhava had the idea, you should dress as brahmanas and go to Jarasandha and ask for some charity. Because Jarasandha is powerful kshatriya, will give you whatever you ask for. This is also kshatriya mentality. Whatever you ask a kshatriya, he will give you. Whatever it is. We see this also in Karna, when Indra came there as a brahmana and asked for his armor. Because Karna was born with an armor built in already in his body. He had this armor on his body which made him like invincible. So Indra came there for Arjuna, because Indra is the father of Arjuna, and he asked for this. And Karna said, whatever you like, my dear Brahmana. I am known for giving Brahmanas everything. This is my, this is the prestige of a kshatriya, to be so selfless. Always giving protection, always acting for the welfare of others. So he asked, what can I do for you? And then Indra said, as a Brahmana, give me your armor. And Karna was not waiting a second. He said, no, this is too much. What, you want my armor? My armor is built in my body. It's very painful to give this up. I have to cut it out. It's not possible. So please choose something else. No, Karna was immediately acting. Immediately taking a sharp knife, and he cut off his armor. In great pain. But this pain is for kshatriya pleasure. To suffer for the others. This is kshatriya mentality, and then here's the armor. Blood everywhere and losing his armor. So in the same way, they went to Jarasandha, and Jarasandha immediately, oh my dear Brahmanas, whatever I can do for you, I will give you. And then they said it was three. It was Bhima, Arjuna, and Krishna, dressed as Brahmanas. And then I think it was Krishna speaking on behalf of them and said, "Oh, great Jarasandha Maharaj, thank you for giving us this opportunity. We only want a little benediction, a little boon, a little charity, as Brahmas we ask. We want to fight you." And Jarasandha was a little bit surprised. And then he looked at these Brahmanas and said, "Hare Krishna, actually I see you are not Brahmanas. I can see in your bodily stature, Brahmanas seem to be, from what we read, they're more like thin and a little bit like intellectuals and have a different appearance, humble appearance. That you look powerful. You have powerful shoulders, powerful arms, and I see marks on your hand of bowstrings. Because a real Kshatriya is always shooting his arrows, and the string is slashing always on the arm. And then he has all these marks there. I see you are actually Kshatriyas. But actually you are humiliating yourself in tricking me, pretending to be Brahmanas. So who are you anyways? This is like ridiculous. He was actually making fun out of them, but still said, I will, of course I will give you a fight. So who are you? And Krishna said, this here is Arjuna, son of Pandu, son of Indra actually. And this is Bhima, powerful like 10,000 elephants, and I am your old enemy, Krishna. Because Jarasandha was fighting so often Krishna. And they open up and show themselves. And then what was Jarasandha doing? He was not like, oh no, I'm in trouble now, something. He was like laughing, ha ha ha. Well, laughing, it's you again, you rascals, no problem, I will give you a fight. But you, Krishna, I will not fight you. You always run away from me. Last time you ran away from me, you are not worthy of my power. And you, Arjuna, you are too small, you are too young. But Bhima, okay, I will fight him. Because Bhima has also the strength of 10,000 elephants. This is like a measurement of, power. Huh? There's the strength of 10,000 10,000 elephants. I take it literally. We should take it literally. So he's very, 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 very strong. 10,000. Imagine 10,000 elephants standing here in queue on the street. A long line, and someone has, huh?
Maharati is 10,000 elephants.
Yeah, Maharati. I don't know Maharati. They are different. They are. Actually, the Maharati and Rati, yeah, they are measured according how many other soldiers they can fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you need a key for this room. You have the key? Okay. Yeah, Maharati. Like there are different sayings, like Maharati and Atirati, but they said Maharati in one sense he can fight unlimited other soldiers, unlimited. And we see this on the Kurukshetra battlefield, that when Arjuna was fighting, he was fighting other Maharatis and then was an equal fight. But if he fought like these foot soldiers, he killed them like ants. It's like thousands and thousands of thousands he was killing with his bow. And when Arjuna was shooting his arrows, he shot so fast, divine power, that he could shoot the arrows that the points were touching the end of the arrows. So it was like one line of arrow. They were like this, in one line, and that his bow was always in a circle. He shoots so fast, and that the bow was always in a circle. And he had the quiver, which was giving endless arrows. This is also interesting. He had all these divine weapons. Of course, the Gandiva bow itself was already very powerful. But why was it powerful? Because Krishna was there. He was giving him Shakti, Krishna Shakti. And when Krishna was not there anymore, and Arjuna had to bring the queens from Dwarka to Mathura, no, not to Mathura, to Hastinapur, because the Yadavas were destroyed, the city was flooded, everything was pulling back when Krishna's Leela ended. And Krishna asked Arjuna, please take care of my queens. 16,108 queens. Only Krishna can have. Nobody had 16,108 queens. And Arjuna was there in Dwarka and was on a long parade, on a long, a big group, and wanted to go back to Hastinapur. On the way there were some cowherd boys, like a gang of cowherd boys, also interesting. And normally, what is a cowherd boy against Arjuna? So Arjuna said, my dear queens, no problem, I will protect you. I wanted to take up his Gandiva bow. He couldn't lift that bow anymore. And these cowherd boys, who were of course sent by Krishna, kidnapped all the queens. And Arjuna was just standing there and in shock. How can that happen to me? I'm Arjuna, the wielder of the Gandiva bow, friend of Krishna, most powerful son of Indra. I cannot protect these queens of a couple of cowherd boys. And then he understood it's because Krishna is not here anymore. He could only fight because Krishna was there. He could not lift this bow anymore. Wasn't it when the battle of Kurukshetra was over and they stepped down of the chariot that it burned to ashes? There's also a part in Mahabharata. They stepped down of this battle, and because so many divine weapons were shot at this chariot, which Krishna was protecting, nothing was happening. But then when it was over, Krishna was stepping down, it was ashes. Yeah. So, what is this nice verse? Actually, the last verse of Bhagavad Gita is very beautiful in this regard. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Parta Tanudaraha Tatra Shivichayo Bhutir Druvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion, says Sanjay. So wherever there is Krishna, then everything is good. Even though sometimes we experience some trouble. We should see this is also good, because we are devotees of Krishna, and Krishna takes care of us. And even it seems He's not there, He's there, and this is a test, this is mercy. Tate nukampam susamikshamano punjan ma'itvatma kritang vipakam ritvakva bupir vidadan namaste chiveta yamukti bade sadaya bhakt. When we experience this problems, trouble in life, we should see it as great mercy of Krishna. A pure devotee sees all troubles. Like Prabhupada, he was seeing everything as arranged by Krishna. Everything. And so he had no problem with it. Yesterday in the messe, I was speaking also on this point to these people. On this point of what about problems in life? We should see it as mercy. And when we see it as mercy and as opportunity, we don't have a problem with it. And we will not have a problem with anything. But our mind is so strong that we don't accept it. And we fight it. And we are angry. And we argue. And Prabhupada says in this purport that a devotee does not become the enemy of his enemy. He is accepting the trouble. He is not protesting. He is accepting it. So, what are we doing? We always argue. We always don't accept. We always don't like. We are rascals. As Prabhupada says, fools and rascals. And we suffer ourselves the most. Right? We suffer ourselves the most. If you're peaceful and happy and accepting, what's your problem? So there's no problem for a pure devotee. Because we say, oh, I'm not a pure devotee. And Prabhupada would say, become one. Oh, I'm not a pure devotee. Then once Prabhupada was going through a house, a temple, and he came in a room and a devotee was sleeping on the floor in the middle of the day. And Prabhupada said, what are you doing? What are you doing here? He said, oh, Prabhupada, I'm tired, so much service, this and that. And I said, get up, what's the problem? He said, oh, I'm not a pure devotee. And Prabhupada said, then become one. Become one. He didn't accept it. Yeah? So, where did I stop? So, Charasanda, you want to leave? Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your visit. Hare Krishna. So they were revealing themselves, and Acharasana accepted. Okay, I will fight Bhima, and then they started fighting, and they were equal, and they fought with I think with clubs, Gada, no? Gada, said big clubs. Also interesting weapon, Vedic weapon which they had, and Bhima was actually his. This is his special weapon. This is his special weapon. Like Krishna, Arjuna's weapon is the bow. This is the first weapon of a Kshatriya when he starts to fight, first with the bow, because you can cover long distance. And then with the club, then with the sword, and then maybe with a knife or something, then with hands in the end. Yeah. But Bhima didn't care so much about the bow. He always took immediately this club and was running on this battlefield and slashing and smashing everyone like a hurricane. Thousands of people were smashing heads and people and elephants and everything and everyone. What a scene! Sometimes Bhima was like with his powerful arms, he was like taking a soldier and making like a flesh ball out of it. Oh, gruesome! Like with this, what was his name? Kichaka or something? When they were in the kingdom of, in the last year in the exile, they were in the kingdom of King, what was his name? Who remembers? Nobody remembers? In the last year of the Pandavas' exile, they had to be incognito.
Yes.
And then they went into a kingdom of one of their supportive kings and were dressing themselves up. Anyway, long story. If you go into Mahabharata, it's endless.
He was a cook in this kingdom. Yeah.
Yes. And then we were in this King Virata. It was King Virata. And they were in the kingdom of King Virata. And Bhima and the son of King Virata, or son-in-law, no, it was his son. He fell in love with Draupadi. Because Draupadi is most beautiful, of course. Draupadi was born from fire. She was born from, her brother was Drishtadyumna, I think was no, the father was Draupadi. Drishtadyumna was the brother, and she was Draupadi. And they were born from fire. She was not born in a regular way, she was like a demigoddess. And he said she was most beautiful. And this boy fell in love with her and always made advances. And she was kind of trying to get rid of him, because she was very chaste. And then in one point, somehow or other, they made a strategy that they said, okay, accept him. Tell him, okay, you can come to me at night to get rid of him. And then he came, like, he was completely in love. He was completely lusty. He said, whoa, finally I can be with Draupadi. And he came in his room, and there was Bhima. And I think he was even dressed up like a girl. And he was lying in bed. Something like this. And he comes in and, oh, Draupadi, I'm coming. And, yes, come. And he was then pouncing him. And he was like beating. And next morning when they came and they found the dead body, they couldn't understand who that was or what that was. He made like a pulp. He made literally pulp out of that guy, because he was so angry also that he was interested in kind of his wife, right? So Bhima is very powerful and easily angered, very powerful. And he fought with Jarasandha a long time. And there's, of course, a smartphone. It's okay. It's interesting, we read, it's also in Mahabharata and other wars, when they were fighting battles, that at night they were peaceful. At night they were peaceful, and so also they fought, they started to fight, and they fought hours and hours, and nobody could win. They were completely equal in any sense. And then when it was night, they stopped, said, okay, we couldn't finish this match now. And then they came together and they ate together and were joking together. And Prabhupada always said that an enemy is accepted as a guest. In Vedic society, your enemy, if he comes to your house, you have to accept him. And he should not feel that he's the enemy. This was standard in Vedic society. Even though you hate him. Yeah? So they come together and, all quarrel aside. Mi casa es su casa, my home is your home. And then next morning, they continue fighting. And this went on for days, I don't know how many days, long time. And Bhima could not kill Jarasandha, it was not possible. And then at what point, Krishna gave a hint. Wasn't it that he took a blade of grass? And was ripping it in the middle. And then Bhima understood. And he smashed Jarasandha on the floor, and he stepped with one foot on the leg of Jarasandha, and he pulled the other leg. What was that? Yeah. So he pulled the other leg and he ripped Jarasandha into two, and it said exactly in the middle. Even at the intimate part was separated perfectly in the middle. In the stomach and the breast, chest, and here and between the eyes. Two parts of Jarasandha. And why was this? We know the story. When Jarasandha was born of his father, he was born in two halves. And he threw him, I don't know, he said he threw him in the forest. I don't know, he brought in the forest to bury it or something, this baby. And then there was a witch. Actually, I spoke in Cologne also about a witch, the witch Maya. And we recorded it, put it on YouTube. And someone put a commentary on my video and said, it was a very nice lecture, but witches are not always bad. There are also the good witches, which make something with the herbs and all that. So we don't mean these witches. We mean pishachis. They said pishachis. And they like to eat children, and they are quite terrible. So one of these mystical witches found Jarasandha, and somehow or other, because of her mystic power, she put him together. And the child started crying. Was alive. And she brought this child to the father, who was very happy. So, oh, my son is alive. And because of this witch, his name was Chara. And so he named the child Jarasandha, which Sandha means kind of connecting, putting together, like a Sandhya means also a connection between two parts of the day. Like evening, when the sun is setting, before it's night, it's not day, it's not night, it's called Sandhya. And also, actually noon is also a Sandhya. Noon is Sandhya, morning, and also midnight is also a Sandhya. And in Sandhya, there should be chanted Gayatri mantra. This is now tradition at Sandhya. And some devotees take it very serious. Really, when it's Sandhya. Even though Prabhupada was very general, said morning and noon and evening. I know this from Bhakti Vikas Swami. When he, in the memories, he tells, when he got the... Stop, please. Put it away. Thank you. When Bhakti Vikas Maharaj got second initiation, because then he went to Prabhupada in his room alone, because Gayatri mantra you have to hear in your ear by the Guru. Yeah. So he went in his room, and Prabhupada was doing this. He was speaking then the mantra in the ear, and gave also the Brahmana thread. And then Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, at that time he was, what was his name actually before? I forgot. Anyway, so when he was still Brahmachari, and then he asked, because he heard the Sandhya and the special time and when it should be chanted, and he asked Prabhupada, when should the mantra be chanted, at which certain time, and when is the exact timing and all this. And Prabhupada said, morning, noon, evening. And then Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was not satisfied. He said, but exact. Yeah, Prabhupada, when is the Sandhya, when is the sun setting, and this and that. And Prabhupada said, morning, noon, and evening. And he said, but Prabhupada, this sun setting, and Prabhupada said, what's going on with this guy? Morning, noon, evening. I said, okay. He tells in the memories. So we are not so, don't have to be so exact, but if you take it exact, keep the Sandhya and chant your Gayatri then. So the witch was putting Jarasandha together, and the king was very happy, and to honor this witch, he called him Jarasandha, the one who was put together by the witch Chara. So, but somehow or other, this was his weak point. Like Achilles verse, I don't know how to say this in English.
Achilles heel.
Achilles heel? Achilles heel, yeah. That was his weak point. Achilles, yeah. He was like a demigod, actually, in one sense. Mortal, but born from a god and a human, I think, yeah? In the Greek mythology. Yeah. But he had this weak point on the heel. And the same we have also in the Nibelungensage. This is an old German, right? Sage. Where what was his name? Oh, I forgot. But his problem was, I think, in the back. Because he was taking Siegfried or something, huh? Siegfried or something? Siegfried, huh? He was taking a bath in the blood of a dragon, wasn't it? I think he took a bath in the blood of a dragon, which made his whole body invincible. But there was a leaf falling on his back, so the one part was weak, and then he could be killed. So in the same way, also Jarasandha, he was like immortal in one sense, but this was his weak point somehow or other. So Bhima killed him like that.
No, Bhima is crashing and then he threw it like
Opposite
this.
directions.
No,
After
not
then Krishna
first.
say you should not throw right side and left side. You should turn.
Cross.
Yeah, cross.
Cross him.
Cross.
Because the bodies
Then-
are joining together again. If you
I
throw
could
it
join
this,
together
yeah,
again.
yeah,
Ah,
then you have to throw it like this. This to Krishna.
Okay.
Throw it like
He
this.
showed him signal like this.
yeah, yeah.
Then he showed.
This is not in the Krishna book. This is probably Mahabharata or some.
Mahabharata, yeah.
Because in Krishna book this is not said like this. In Bhagavatam it's not said like this. It's just that you pulled him out. Yeah,
In Mahabharata.
yeah, this is Mahabharata. So, and then this was why I wanted to tell this. First, of course, Kshatriya spirit, always ready to fight and not afraid, and fighting equals or stronger. And so this to the Kshatriya spirit. Good, I will tell a couple of minutes more. So we are hearing here about the universal form. Krishna is showing the universal form to Arjuna. And there are also two other incidents I wanted to tell where Krishna showed the universal form. One was when he was a small child. And we know the story. Krishna was playing with his cowherd boy friends. It's also very interesting, right? Krishna is like the absolute person, but at the same time, his main interest is exchanged with other living entities. And this is his main interest because he loves them so much. And he has unlimited relationships. And one kind of relationship is with his friends, where he plays as a cowherd boy, small cowherd boy. So they play outside on the field and they make all kinds of joke and fun and nonsense. This is what boys do. Probably girls also. Children do. Huh? They do all kinds of nonsense. Isn't it right? Yes. And we enjoy this nonsense. We like doing nonsense. So Krishna, on one point, he was eating dirt. Why? Because it's a boy doing nonsense. And his friends said, "Oh, you cannot eat dirt. Krishna, don't do this." He said, "Why not? I can do, why not?" Then they run to Mother Yashoda. Say, "Oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna." He's eating. And Mother Yashoda immediately comes and chastises Krishna. "Why are you eating dirt? What are you doing?" He said, "I'm not eating dirt. I do nothing." He said, "All your friends told," even Balaram said, "No, they are lying. They conspired against me. It's not true. I'm not eating dirt." And Mother said, "Okay, then show me your mouth. Open your mouth. If there's dirt inside." And it's very funny what Krishna does, He opens the mouth and she sees the universal form in his mouth. It's very funny, actually. And she looks inside, and in his mouth she sees the whole universe with all the lokas and all the demigods and everything inside. Then she sees Bhumandala, she sees Bharatvarsha, she sees Vrindavan, Raj area, she has like a zoom vision then. I don't know, in the small mouth, how to see everything. There was actually once a Mataji going to Prabhupada, and she was painting. And then I think it was a Mataji, maybe Prabhupada Mataji. And then Prabhupada explained to her this Leela, because she wanted to paint it. And Prabhupada told her this Leela, and then very dramatic. And when Prabhupada spoke, things in general, it was very graphic, and it was very real, and it was very not different from that what he talks, right? Like the holy name is not different from Krishna, all that. So the kata of a pure devotee is like the same as you experience that what you're talking about. It's transcends time and space. So when Prabhupada was speaking about Krishna, he says, as if you are with Krishna. And we see this also in Prabhupada's books. When you read Krishna book or any book of Prabhupada, and we read in the right consciousness, then we realize the knowledge. It's not just theoretical knowledge, it's direct. So when Prabhupada spoke this Leela, and then said, and he opened the mouth, and there was the universe, and Prabhupada spoke, this Svarga, and this Loka, and the demigods, and the wind, and the moon, and the sun, and he was going completely into it. Like his meditation, his realization, he poured it out. And it said this devotee who heard it was like experiencing the same. It was like a vision. It was like seeing this whole pastime of Krishna's universal form. It was very nice. And then she painted this. And now we have this painting where Krishna stands there with Mother Yashoda, and then you see, separate this, what she sees in the mouth. So Mother Yashoda has this zoom vision and looks inside and sees Bharatvarsha and all this. And then she sees herself, from outside, like this camera perspective, she sees herself looking in the mouth of Krishna. It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful, and it is also, in one sense, scientific. Yeah?
If this is the case, maybe it's the same with when Arjuna had the universal form. He was also seeing himself inside the form.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's not mentioned actually.
It's not mentioned, but might be. Yes.
But how to understand this? Then? If he's inside, who was looking out from outside?
Yeah. That's the same with Mother Yashoda.
Yeah, this is the question.
Yeah, it's like, it's like when you have two mirrors opposite of each other, or sometimes you look in the TV when there's like this feedback and all these pictures. So she sees in his mouth, and she sees inside his mouth everything from outside, because she's outside. Because she's outside, everything is inside of Krishna. So in the same time, when this vision where she sees herself looking into the mouth of Krishna, of course the same will happen again and again and again. But it's inside of Krishna, everything.
But how exactly? Because mirror analogy is good.
Yeah.
I mean, we understand, our intellect understands. But from spiritual point of view, what is the significance?
What's the significance? It's interesting, yeah. What's the significance? Here in this Leela, the significance is because Krishna wants to show I'm God. Everything is inside me. It's like preaching. This is like preaching. But with Mother Yashoda, it's not preaching. It's more choking, more almost. He chokes with her. And because she becomes bewildered. Oh, who are you? She's like really bewildered, it's her small, she loves Krishna like a child, and suddenly she sees that, she's shocked. And then Krishna says, oh, it's too much, and he bewilders her again, he takes the vision away, and she, oh, it's my Krishna. And even if you're God, you're still my Krishna. The pure devotee, the Raja Bhaktas, they might know that he is the Lord, but it's not important for them. Yeah. So the significance, what's the significance? Many reasons might be there, but in one sense it's Krishna's sweet will to show.
Maybe she earned this, to have this vision from her past.
Yeah, no, it's not earning because she doesn't want it. Actually, Krishna shocks.
She doesn't know it. She doesn't know that she is eligible to have this.
Yeah.
Krishna knows. So
Yeah.
he gave, maybe.
Yeah, but in one sense it's not earning because she doesn't want it. She wants to love Krishna. Actually, it's a disturbance in her rasa to Krishna. So in one sense, Krishna tricked her with a joke with her, bewildered her. And showed actually that her love is much stronger than a realization of Krishna being God. Because this is actually what is Krishna enjoying, and what she's enjoying. It's higher. And the last, this was before the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna made an attempt of peace. Nothing worked, and actually the Pandavas did not want the war. They wanted, but at the same time they wanted to avoid it. And as a sign of goodwill, Krishna himself went to Hastinapur to explain to them, please give them at least 5 villages and everything is good. They will be satisfied. You can have the whole kingdom. Give them 5 villages so we can prevent this war, which will not be good for the whole society. And Duryodhana, rascal as he is, not even that. I will not give you a space where I can put the point of a needle. Nothing I will give you. Nothing. And it's said he already expected Krishna. And he had already his soldiers that when Krishna comes as this messenger, we capture him, put him into the prison, get rid of him. And then he was like puffed up like this, nothing. Because Duryodhana wanted to get rid of them, kill them finally. Nothing I will give. And then Krishna said, okay, that means war. And Duryodhana said, soldiers! And they run in and they circle Krishna. And Krishna shows the universal form. Back off, oh no. And Krishna, very cool, pulls back the universal form and walks out.
I think they could not see it, Duryodhana and others. Only Bhishma, Pitama and all actually.
No.
Others saw it just light, they were blinded by the
Okay, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what is mentioned. Only
Yeah.
Bhishma and one more.
So he made like
Yeah.
just some powerful glare,
Yeah.
something like
Some
this.
kind of a Maya he created
Yeah.
for others, but
Yeah.
Bhishma and Vidur, I think.
Could
they
see
were
it.
able to
Could see the form. Yeah. So this is also there. So Krishna is the Yogeshwara. He is the supreme mystic and most powerful. Now, as it said in the last verse, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Parthadanurdara. Wherever there is Krishna, the supreme mystic, and the Dhanurdharaha, the wielder, the carrier of the bow, Arjuna, everything will be well. Everything is good. So for us also it means we should have always Krishna in our life, in different forms, as the deity, as the Bhagavad Gita, as the holy name, and have Krishna always in our life. Have Krishna more, not just in our life, actually in our heart. Surrender to Krishna in our heart, and then everything will be well. Everything will be good. We don't have to worry about anything. Everything will be very auspicious. Good, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Because, ja, wir fahren gleich. Können wir gleich losfahren eigentlich, genau. Und yes, this was our little lecture. So now you have to continue the program on yourself. And hopefully you will get some prasadam. I don't know what's going on with that. And we go to the Messe. Yeah. Good. Bhagavan Shri Krishna ki jai, universal form ki jai, Nitai Gaur Brahmanande, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.